I've been doing this whole YouTube thing for right about a year now, and that means I've got a year's worth of video evidence that can help answer that age-old question: what's better, thrift stores or garage sales? Stay tuned, we're going to find out. Alright, so I kind of told a story. Without going through exactly everything that I sold this year, figuring out where I got it from, what it sold for, looking at all the different platforms I sold on, and going through all these calculations, I can't tell you definitively what's better, a garage sale or a thrift store. And frankly, it boils down to personal opinion anyway. But what I can show you is why I think sometimes one is better than the other in certain categories, or what I typically find at one versus the other. Let me show you what I mean. So first category I'm going to call unique stuff that sells for a lot of money. Kind of weird, I know. But the thrift store wins this category hands down. And I've got the video evidence to prove it. Unique, valuable, and found at a thrift store. Checks all the boxes. Paid $18 for this Rumpelstiltskin style spinning wheel, and it sold for $110 plus shipping. How about a tiny little camping chair that sold for $175? That's pretty unique. Paid $5 for it from a thrift store. A Disney hat with the character Hades from the movie Hercules? That's pretty unique, right? Somebody thought so. They paid $175 for it. I paid $1. Another point, thrift store. This one qualifies as unique because I'm still not real sure what it is, other than what it says on the box, and that's InfoGlobe Digital Caller ID. Paid $10 at a thrift store and it sold for $120. And finally, the most unique item I've ever bought at a thrift store. Let me explain. Didn't really know what it was. After some research, I found out that it was a teletype machine, similar to a telegraph machine that would have been found in a Western Union office. Buyer came and picked it up, and come to find out he's going to put it in a museum. So if you're ever down in Folkestone, Georgia, stop by the Old Depot and hopefully he's got it set up and you can take a look at it. Paid $20 for it and it sold for $200. Now that doesn't mean you can't find unique and valuable items at a garage sale, because you definitely can. Here's two that I found at just one sale. I paid $1 at a church sale for this vintage Rolex duffel bag for two reasons. One, I needed something to carry my stuff around in, and two, it'll probably be the only time I ever own a Rolex. It sold for $139. It's pretty unique to find a sealed toy from 1998. Well, I paid $1 for this Stompers truck, and it sold for $125. So yeah, you can definitely find valuable and unique items at both places, but for me, I've definitely found most of it at the thrift store. And that brings us to our next category. I have sold a ton of exercise equipment this past year. Now I know there's global reasons why that happened, but this wasn't just standard stuff like barbells and weights and workout bands and that kind of stuff. This was some kind of unique and weird stuff. So that's our next category. Weird, unique exercise equipment that's worth a lot of money. And where did I find it? Well, all of it at the thrift store. I keep finding these weird Suzanne Summers ab workout machines. They're called the Torso Track. Found 3 of them this year. Paid between $9 and $20 for all 3 of them, and they sold between $110 and $170 depending on the season. So these weird contraptions definitely sell. And then there's this weird contraption called a plankster that you put your phone in and play a video game as you work out. I don't know, I'm exhausted just by looking at it. But I paid $12 for this one at a thrift store and it sold for $120. How about a plastic box with legs? Would you pay $140 for them? Oh, and by the way, that's actually what it's called. It's the box by the firm. But people buy them all the time. I picked up 3 this year, paid $9 or $10 a piece, and they sell consistently for $140.
Stand on top of your fanny lifter.
And then there's the fanny lifter. More plastic boxes for you to step on. This $5 thrift store investment turned into $120. Watch this skeleton muscle guy turn into a real guy. Bam! How cool is that? That's definitely my favorite infomercial. But this is the body blade. I paid $3 for one and it sold for $65. So yeah, the thrift store is definitely home to weird workout contraptions that sell for good money. And there's more too, like this Legmaster. I've sold them several times. Pay like $10 or $12 for them, and they sell for well over 100. Same thing for these weird chi machines. Super fast sellers. They sell for well over $100 themselves. And it's weird too because I've never bought any of this stuff from a yard sale. Kind of strange. So far it looks like I'm rooting for thrift stores, but honestly, if I look at which one's more profitable, it's probably yard sales. There's such a low cost of goods and there's a great abundance of them, even though it's a shortened part of the year. Like yard sales here are only from March to October. And most of that profit this year has actually come from golf clubs. There's been so many golf clubs at yard sales this year. It's kind of crazy. Just from yard sales alone, and there's been some from thrift stores too, but just from yard sales alone, I've sold over $15,000 worth of golf clubs online. That's crazy to me, and I've just started looking for them this year. So for most profitable, I'm voting yard sales. Like I said in the beginning, yard sales versus thrift stores, definitely a personal opinion. Like I might think yard sales are more profitable. You may find better stuff at thrift stores. You may not like the getting up early and the rush of going from one yard sale to another. Thrift stores are kind of a one-stop shop. I get that. I kind of prefer yard sales. The cost of goods seems to be cheaper, and I enjoy the rush of going from one to the other. That's just me. But I'd be remiss if I didn't show you my favorite finds from each one from this past year. So take a look. So I've been doing this whole reseller thing for 5 or 6 years now, and that was my best thrift find ever. That bag was full of these homeschooling DVDs. These are from Abeka Academy. We've got a complete set of the 5-year-old kindergarten and 5th and 6th grade. We've got the partial set of 3rd grade, and then I've got a mathematics course. My best thrift find of 2021, a bag full of homeschool DVDs. And honestly, when I bought them, I had no idea how good they were. I paid $25 for the bag, and I sold all of them on Mercari, and they sold quick for a total of $1,512. That's amazing to me. But here's my favorite yard sale find of the year. You got a lot of cool stuff for sure.
Yeah, he was a collector, that's for sure.
Oh, that is cool. That's an old, like an old canteen water
Yeah.
bag. That is awesome.
Water bag, yeah. That's kind of neat, isn't it?
It is. That's very cool.
And here's more of it here if you want. And feel free to use, I've got some more of these containers.
Okay. A little Abner.
Yeah, he collected a whole set of those.
That's awesome.
Never ever read them, I'm sure. You think $50?
You read my mind. That's perfect.
We got them. That'll be great. I'm glad to
Perfect.
go. All right, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. So my favorite yard sale find of this year was not my most profitable. I mean, it was close. It was like $1,200 or $1,300 worth of profit that I've already made. But it was because of the little old lady. She was so nice. And my wife and I were actually out of town on vacation when we found all this stuff. And then the stuff itself it's so historical. I mean, this was like boxes of stuff from World War II, stuff that men had worn to go fight wars. And then there were baseballs from the 1940s that were signed by these men that played on baseball teams that aren't even around anymore. I mean, this was just a cool find to me all the way around. And if you'd like to go watch that video, I'll link it up here. I know I'm repeating myself, but this whole garage sale thrift store thing, yeah, like I said, it's a matter of opinion. But this was more of kind of a year in review for me. I found some really cool stuff. It was definitely a good year for reselling. Not only that, a little over a year ago, I started this YouTube channel and I had no expectations. It was just something that I wanted to try. And you guys, seriously, it's all about you. I'm up to 2,000 subscribers now, and I never in a million years thought I'd see that in just over a year. just got monetized, and it's all because you guys keep hitting that subscribe button. You hit the thumbs up, you leave comments in the comment box down below, and you can't know how much I greatly appreciate that. But I hope you guys had a great year, and I hope the next one is even better. Happy New Year's, and we'll see you on the next video.